Good day to you, sir or madam. It's the weekend once more, and you know what that means. It's time for Pokemon of the Week. This week, we're going to look at a crab that brings everything it needs on its back. That's right, we're going to take a look at Crustle, the Hermit Helper. Its ability Sturdy will prevent it from taking one-hit KOs, which in this case, in this set, it's vital because it's going to be a supporter. It doesn't have great speed, base 45. Obviously, you could work in a sort of time dimension alteration with Trick Room, but I'll save that for the next set. With this one, you're going to be setting up a whole lot of arena hazards such as spikes and stealth rocks, and you also have 2 stab moves just in case somebody wants to taunt your Crustle. Now it only has 2 weaknesses, but they are pretty prevalent, especially with water, so if it comes along, I might recommend switching out, because while you do have a massive 125 base defense, special defense is sort of lacking. So maybe what you might consider doing if you want your Crustle to be more wally is perhaps splitting up the 252 between special defense and physical defense. But since this thing is not meant to be a wall, although it looks like it could be a perfect brick inside a wall, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you set up your arena traps and you get on with your match. This set is meant to be supporting, and that's really all there is to be said about it. You want to attach leftovers so it can stay on the field as long as possible, and like I mentioned before, Sturdy will assure you that you get at least 1 set of stealth rocks or 1 set of spikes out on the field. If it was up to me, I would say go stealth rocks first, then spikes, and you could potentially use a substitute, but since this thing, you know, it has plenty of special defense weaknesses, it might not be worth doing. Could be a waste. So I would stick to having these moves, or maybe replacing one of its stab moves, either X Scissor or Stone Edge, with Toxic. This way you can have a direct effect on what Pokemon enters the field. And it would be a nice last one revenge kill sort of leftovers thing. It's not really a revenge kill, more as though it's a revenge infection that will toxify your opponent before they knock Crustle out after Sturdy's effect is gone. Because keep in mind, Sturdy will only work if your Pokemon has full health. If not, it's gonna faint. Another less popular way for you to use this crab is the Cake Crusher set. Now why cake? Because look at that thing on Crustle's back. I know it's a piece of terra firma, but use your imagination. I mean, that looks like a giant piece of cake. The regular sprite looks like chocolate orange cake. The edited one, I don't know, it looks like cake that's gone bad. But this one is more of offensive, and the reason you don't see it so much is because of the thing I mentioned before, its lack of speed. Now, the way that you could work around this is 2 methods. Either one, use a Trick Room set in which you would ignore the EVs that I have here. You would put them towards split between defense and special defense, maybe a little bit more towards HP, and you would have a nature that made speed diminish, something like Brave, where attack increases but speed decreases. So that would be ideal for this Crustle, is if you could do the Trick Room set. But another method you could do is through effort value training and an attack called Shell Smash. You can increase your speed, attack, and special attack by 2 stages, but diminish your defense and special defense by 1 stage. So when you're using Shell Smash, ideally to be faster than your opponent, I'm not really certain, depending on who you're versing, how many times you're going to have to use that, even with a maxed out EV spread of speed, because it doesn't matter if it's maxed out. You're starting at base 45, so you may have to use Shell Smash a couple of times, which, you know, it makes me a little hesitant. It does, honestly, because I'm not too big on diminishing my defenses. This thing's not a sweeper. You know, it only has a generally okay attack of 95. You know, it's nothing to stick your nose at, but it's certainly not sweeping power. So Shell Smash, to me, sort of seems like, I don't know, you're trying to do remediation on a Pokemon that just, it doesn't need to work in this sort of way. I personally would use the supporter set that we saw first, but one move that I might recommend as another supporting move for this set, in order to be more powerful, is Curse. Increase your defense and attack and diminish your speed. Now why is that good? Well, if you take my tip with going with Trick Room, that's exactly what you want. You want Crustle to be as slow as possible, so in this Trick Room it will be quickly smiting your foes, and doing so with the stab power. And now that you focus some effort values towards attack, it will pack a wallop. I don't want you to get the idea that since it's not a sweeper, it's ineffectual at attacking. No, it's physically up there. It's got prowess in RU. But the important thing is to know which kind of upgrading move, what kind of status altering move would you use. Not really status, but stat changing, not status. Status would be poison. Status would be fire. But stat changing is what we're looking for, and thankfully it does have a couple of options, so if you don't want to go with Shell Smash, although it's an option, it's definitely out there, you could go with Hone Claws, Swords Dance, Curse. It even has Rock Polish if you're looking to increase speed. But that about does it for Crustle. Let me know in the comments below, if you had a Crustle, what kind of cake would you like for it to carry on its back? Maybe a red velvet Crustle? I don't know. Tell me below, and if you've battled with it, more importantly, how has it been? Remember to subscribe to Planet Poke for all this and more Pokemon related goodness, and check out my channel if you have the chance. I'm doing 3 new LPs on there: Bit Trip Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. My friend Vlad Z is doing Super Mario Sunshine, and I am playing Sin and Punishment Star Successor on the Wii. Many more awesome things to come. Oh, and I just hit the 5,000 subscriber point, so I'll be doing a Bit Trip Runner giveaway fairly soon. So if you want to be in the running for that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and you will see the video that tells you all the information on how you can be eligible to get a copy of that for Steam. I'm DeogenZ, and I'll see you next week.